Does Britain need immigration for the economy to grow?
Look, immigration, it's not a zero-sum game. Of course, steady immigration, the right skills coming into the country at the sort of level and pace that we can cope with for people to integrate, that is a boon. Of course it is. Illegal immigration and uncontrolled immigration of the sort that we have had for over 20 years is bad for the country. It's as simple as that. What we need to do is get a grip, have controlled immigration, the right sort of people coming in at the right sort of pace, and then everything will be fine. But simply saying that anyone and everyone who wants to come here can, to do whatever job they like, to get paid small amounts, no, that's not in anyone's interests, and certainly not in the interests of those at the lower end of the pay scale in this country who are struggling most.
However, Alp Mehmet, we do need people to do the jobs that indigenous Brits won't do, such as picking fruit in the summer. And of course, there is a direct correlation, isn't there, between immigration into a country and economic growth. And normally it's self-correcting. If the economy stops growing, then people don't come here.
Well, of course, the economy will grow the more people you have coming into the country. It's obvious that will happen. But what happens to productivity? What happens to the slice of the cake that you and I and everyone else gets? It's no good growing the cake if ultimately the slice that we get remains the same, as has substantially been the case for the last 10, 15 years.
So do you think, Alp Mehmet, that we should stop immigration? There should be a moratorium for 5 years or 10 years? Or do you think we should just go for that point-based system in which we take people with the best skills that the country needs? What is the right protocol with which for people to come to this country?
Moratorium? No, of course not. That is impossible, even if we wanted to do it, and nor should we. However, immigration, the points-based system, in theory, that should work. It should allow us to bring in the people that are needed. In fact, what happened when the system was introduced, and it's not really a points-based system of the sort that the Australians have got, which is what we were given to believe would happen. But the fact was that it was all loosened to such an extent, the skills and the qualification levels, the pay levels, all these thresholds were reduced so that ultimately we just threw open the doors. And that's why we had over the past year 1.3 million people actually granted visas to come here and live long term.